The inaugural guest here on the Worldwide Quarterback Podcast is the only human being on the planet to be a Super Bowl 50 MVP. He's a Super Bowl winner, of course, 8-time Pro Bowler, 3-time first-team All-Pro, the one and only, the man, Von Miller. Let's give it up for him.
Appreciate you guys.
So, Von, let's go straight to it, my man. The first time we met was in the Denver locker room about December of last year before you played the Texans. And was that strange for you having someone with a different accent to roll through the doors, or was that common for you?
No, it wasn't strange. It was common, in the NFL locker room. You got all different types of, reporters and media guys. Sometimes you get people from Germany. You get Spanish, reporters. But you were definitely the first Australian, reporter. And when I heard your accent, it kind of caught my attention because I had planned this huge trip to Australia at the for the spring of 2020. I think we talked about that in the locker room where I was talking to you about it, man. But 2020 took a totally different path, and I wasn't able to make it. But it's good to be back on this interview with you, man. It's dope.
No, I appreciate it. And so we touch on that Australia trip, and there was a few things that possibly have been lined up, some fishing and that sort of thing. I know you're big on that sort of stuff. But before we talk about the fishing, I think it's important, given that the trip didn't quite come off, that maybe we test out a little bit of that slang, see if we can give you some words that maybe you can use when you do come over. You up for that? All right. So we'll start off with an easy one. Let's see how so g'day. Do you know what that means?
G'day.
Yeah, g'day.
G'day. Am I doing too much? I need to chill on the Australian, or is it?
No, that's
g'day?
Good. Do you know what it means?
Okay. Yeah, g'day. Huh?
Do you know what it means?
Good day?
Yeah.
Like, have a good day?
Like, hello. Like, g'day, mate.
Oh, hello. Yeah. Hello. Yeah.
All right. So here's another one. You tell me what you think it is. Thongs.
Thongs? Those are sandals?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. Because usually, people's minds would go like to the dirty side, but I had to think like, this is slang, so it had to be.
Had to be nimble. Yeah, there we go. All right, so a sanger.
A sanger.
Yeah.
I want to say, is that a beer?
Close.
No, that would be a.
Yeah, no, you go.
Is it a beer?
Close. No? It's like a sandwich, so you might have like a
sandwich. Okay.
A ham and cheese
How you say
sanger.
It again?
A sanger, like a ham and cheese sanger.
Ham and cheese sanger.
Yeah, there you go. All right, and we'll go one more. A gronk.
A gronk?
Yeah.
A gronk.
Not like Rob.
Not like Rob. So, would that be the beer? Would that be the beer? No?
No, not quite. That would be like, it's like a dummy or a moron.
A Gronk. So why do they call Gronk that? That's his last name. Yeah,
well, if Gronk was coming over, we'd have to come up with something different. We couldn't have him coming over being called a Gronk. You could call him the Gronk or Gronk. But maybe
so what do they call what do they call like beers and stuff over there? I said that twice. What's Australian slang for that?
So a beer would be like a cold one, or
a cold one,
or a stubby, or a
stubby.
Or a frothy. A frothy's another one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Froth. It's called a froth. It's an Australian beer called. Was it froth? Is it
Foster's? Yeah, that's a myth. It's more like we don't really drink it. It's really a bad beer. Like it's here, but it's not like. It's like that Outback Steakhouse, man. You know the drill.
Yeah.
All right, so Von. We touched on 2020 and how it's been a strange year and it didn't pan out how you would have thought really in any way. What have you learnt most about 2020 and yourself in that year?
For me, all the time that we had with the quarantine and, not being able to do things that we would normally do, I just reinvested that time back into myself. And I just did a lot of mental work on positive and negative energy. I did just a lot of self identity finding. I tried to find out what's really essential and then eliminate the rest. And I just really wanted to just minimize my priorities and focus on that with full speed ahead, and really just focusing on what really matters to me and pouring all my time in that. And I think whenever, because as humans, you are presented with things daily that mess with your emotions or your anger or your fear. And for me, I just wanted to identify like what really matters and then just focus on that. And the emotions that come with that, instead of running from them, I just identify them. So if I'm angry, why am I angry? And I just kind of like unpack that. You know, if I'm afraid, why am I afraid? And I just kind of unpack that. If I'm anxious about something, you know, instead of just saying, man, I'm not anxious, just try to push through it, I just identify like, why am I anxious? Like, where is this coming from? And then once you really unpack it and get down to like the base value of it, it's just all made up in your head, and it's things that the human mind, they just put there to just create all these emotions. And, I did a lot of work on identifying what's what. And I think it worked great for me because whenever I dislocated my ankle, that's all I really had. And this whole off season, that's what I had been working on, like positive energy, negative energy, really focusing on what's real and what's not, and self-visualization. And that's all I really had, man. And, those first 2 days, I'm not going to say like I was positive like right away. Those first 2 days, man, I had to go through the process, the grieving process. And then shortly after that, it was the acceptance of this is what it is. This is what has been presented with me. How do I make the best out of it? And the best for me was identifying and focusing on being able to come back fast, being able to come back this season. I still had a shot to come back and play this season. And that's where I put all of my energy and all my mind and, all of my focus on that. And that's what keeps me motivated. And that's what keeps me going every day.
So do you feel more positive each day than maybe you did 6 months ago, 3 months ago?
You know what? It's up and down. And that's what human emotions are. But I'm grounded in the sense of I know what I want and I know what I want to do. And so one day you'll feel great, and then Sundays come and you watch football games and you think like, man, like, bro, I could be out there doing this. Like, I'm supposed to be getting sacks and I want to help out my team and I want to do this. And that comes with a feeling of sadness. And then right after that, you're like, bro, I got to come in on Monday and I got to do everything I can to get back on the field and get back to my guys and get back to making plays. So it's just like a constant cycle of those emotions and me just focusing on what's important and what's not.
Yeah, and just trying to weather that storm, weather the storm that life is, of being able to control the downs so they're not as low as, almost being neutral, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, neutral. Staying neutral. Neutral is directly in the middle. If you're down by 30 points in the game, you don't want that guy coming in saying, we still got a chance to win this. Like nobody wants to hear like that overly positive guy. But the neutral guy would say, we down by 36. I didn't play well. You didn't play well. We still have time left in this game. Let's make the most out of it. Let's take it one play at a time. That's a neutral outlook that everybody can respect. And it's not negative saying, we down by 36, so we about to lose. Like, it's in the middle. And just because you're positive doesn't mean positive things will happen to you. But if you're negative, 100% of the time, negative things will happen. And neutral is right in the middle of reality. And like you said, you just got to stay neutral.
And so with that, Von, I know you mentioned a little earlier about how you figured out what you want out of life and what's really essential to you. What are some of those things?
Man, I want to take advantage of the time that I have with my football career. I want to take advantage of the time that I have left to play this game at a high level. And I want to take advantage of every moment. I'm hurt right now, so my priorities change a little bit. I want to take advantage of each and every day so I can maximize my days and hopefully have a chance to come back this season and play. And that adds onto my legacy. My football legacy is extremely important to me, just like my off-the-field legacy is too. My life isn't built on what people say about me, but I do want positive things to be said about me, about my character, about my work ethic, about how I attack life every single day, and what people say about those things about me when I'm not in the room that is important to me because I put, everything on the table. And you're going to have people that's negative, but, I'm a positive guy and I put everything into my legacy on and off the football field, whether it's Von's vision, whether it's my family, whether it's on the field with my teammates, winning games, getting sacks, whatever it may be. I put my all into everything I do. And I just want people to, say that, whenever I'm done. Be good.
Yeah, and that's what you want, just someone to say Von Miller, the football player, whether it's Von Miller, him, or the person that he gave his all, put his effort into everything and try to make a difference. Is that really how it sits with you?
Yeah, it does, man. And I have a unique football career. I've been in every single situation that you could possibly be in on a football team. And anybody that is anybody after me that is currently in one of those situations, I want them to look at my story for motivation or inspiration. Just like I did with the people before me. As long as I leave a solid brick laid, man, I'm good. That's all I can do. That's all I can control.
And one thing that interests me, Von, you talk about the legacy and being that inspiration for others. The Pass Rush Summit that you host. Now, I think that's an interesting concept for a lot of people, maybe outside of the US, is you bring these guys together, you all learn from each other. How did that conception come about? Was it there beforehand, and why is it that you do that?
I've always been a guy that liked to link up with younger players and just help them out. And whenever the year of the Super Bowl in 2015, my position coach, he was with the Atlanta Falcons, and he was telling me that he wanted me to work with Vic Beasley because our games were similar. And that following year we won a Super Bowl, and I wasn't able to do it. And then the year after that, I had time to do it. We ended up not making the playoffs, and I had time to do it. So I hit up Vic Beasley, and I told him to come out to San Francisco. We was going to work out. We was going to watch film. We was going to do the whole nine. Vic Beasley told the Atlanta media, and the Atlanta media blew it up to a Von Miller Pass Rush Summit. So I didn't create this. They blew it up to a Von Miller Pass Rush Summit, and they said, what would a Von Miller Pass Rush Summit look like? And I read that whole article, and I was just taking notes like, yeah, you're right. Like, I should have people on the field for 2 hours and an hour break. And then after that, I should watch film, and then we should have lunch, and, we should all talk. And I took notes on that, and I really just rode the wave of what they created. And I ended up creating the Pass Rush Summit, taking advantage of the opportunity. And it was exactly what I said, man. For everything that the Pass Rush Summit is and we try to do, at the end of the day, it's just to get us all around each other, man. It's the only spot where younger pass rushers can be with the established pass rushers in the league and pick their brains. Everybody's not gonna make it to the Pro Bowl. Everybody's not gonna make it to the Super Bowl. And this is an event for us pass rushers, for guys that are looking for more knowledge, guys that's trying to get better, guys that we watch film on each other all the time. I watch TJ Watt, I watch Aaron Donald all the time. And this is the one spot where we can get down and we can actually compare our notes on each other, man. We can all learn. We can all link and learn from each other. So it's called the Von Miller Pass Rush Summit, but I get so much more out of it. I get to be around these young pass rushers. I get to be around the guys that's popping off sacks, and we all get better in turn.
There must be some things that you keep close to your chest, though, in those summits or meetings.
For me, no, man. I'm so comfortable in my game, and it's not one thing that in football you can't really hide. Like it's not like poker or like something like that where you hide like a strategy. Anything that I do on the football field, people can turn the film on and watch that. And I'm just clarifying it for everybody else. And I'm just so confident in my ability. I do things a certain way, just like Khalil Mack would do things in a certain way. And just because Khalil Mack is great at this doesn't mean that Von Miller would be great at that same thing. But if it's one thing that I could take from his game, that I can put into my game, that's what I do. And that's what the Pass Rush Summit is for, and it's for everybody.
Mm-hmm. And so, Von, in terms of the talk about the Pro Bowl a little bit before, the last one to you, I'm sure would have been pretty powerful and sad in a lot of ways with the passing of Kobe Bryant being announced there. I know you've put up a bit on social media and referenced Kobe a little bit the last few months. Did you know him prior to his passing? Had you spent any time with him?
I've met him once. I had been around him a couple of times where we actually met once backstage at the it was the Comedy Central Man of the Year Awards, and we were back. He was getting like an award, and I was getting like an award. And I think he was at Nickelodeon. He was at the Nickelodeon, like ESPYs, like the Nickelodeon, whatever it is around the ESPY time. So I had been around him a couple times, but that Comedy Central award show was the one time, and that was a picture that I posted. I had a Cowboys hat on. I had a cowboy hat on, and he was in a suit, and we were just sitting there talking. And I was laughing in the photo. I think I was laughing because he had told me that his daughters were like huge fans of Dancing with the Stars, and like he had told me that I was their favorite, and I was like blown away, like me, like everybody on the show. So, you know, it was those times and just being around him, like those times where you really just get to feel his energy. And you know, after he passed, it just struck me, you know, and he just meant so much to everybody else, and you never saw like him like it going that way or him dying in that fashion so suddenly. And it just hit me, man. And, you know, all the stuff that he built over the years, all the stuff that he created, you know, it was like perfect timing in 2020 to apply that to my life. And, you know, being hurt, you know, adopting a mama mentality about this and just staying in the process, you know, it was, you know, it's everything that I needed to keep going and to be a better person and athlete.
No, that's beautiful, mate. And I know you mentioned that you felt as if you maybe when reflecting on Kobe and who he was and what he represented, that maybe you weren't pushing yourself and your teammates as hard as you possibly could. What sort of changes have you made since that revelation?
You know, the way Kobe leads is that's just Kobe. It's one. The way Michael Jordan leads is just Mike. But everybody that wins and everybody that leads, that's great leaders. They all have that one thing in common. And you know, football is different. You can't just you just can't go in the locker room and just challenge 53 people on the team you to play better and to do this and do that. Like it doesn't work that way. But I've identified relating to my teammates and lean through example, and then the occasional verbal push, you know, whenever it's needed. So I just took my leadership up, you know, 5 notches, you know, after really studying like Kobe and Jordan and really identifying that I could do a better job leading. I could do a better job of practicing harder and leading by example and getting others to practice hard as well, pushing myself to the limit every single day and demanding that same effort out of everybody else. And those are some of the changes that I created. You know, game days, that's going to take care of itself, but it's the practices. It's the practices that don't matter. It's, you know, coming up, being early in the morning, like the little stuff, you know, that contributes that little 1% to winning. And that's what I felt like we was missing on our team. We weren't away by like 25%. We weren't away or like, you know, 50%. We just needed those one little percents to be great. And that's what I worked hard on this offseason and training camp to push our team to those levels.
And in terms of helping your teammates right now, Von, obviously that's pretty restricted in terms of a physical sense. Have you been doing much to help them in any way?
It's my energy. You know, it's my energy and being around those guys. You know, I'm injured. You know, I have a serious injury that I'm trying to fight back from. And, you know, if I have a positive outlook on it every single day, you know, nobody likes the injured guy that's in the meeting room like, man, I wish I was out there playing, or like, man, y'all go ahead, man, y'all. Like, nobody like that. Like, I'm injured. It's already happened. So I'm here. I bring the positive energy. Like, guys, come on, we need this win. You know, on this play, this is where I would try to attack this play. You know, this is how you attack that guy, and just bring a positive attitude and whatever I could contribute to winning. That's what I'm gonna do. However I can help the team win, that's what I'm doing. You know, if it's one of those days where I'm feeling down or I'm feeling depressed about like my situation, I might not even just come in there, because that's not what we need to, you know, push ourselves over the top. They need me to be at, you know, they need my energy to be on 10 and contribute to their energy. If I say I'm having a great day and they see me having a great day, then that rubs off on them and they can have a great day as well. And they're actually the guys that's going out there and playing. So those are the ways that I'm just trying to, you know, lead, you know, while being hurt and just contributing to, you know, my guys winning.
So, and you talk about helping teammates, Von. In terms of Drew Lock, have you been helping him with his dance moves at all? Or are they?
No, man, he got that. That's all him. That's all natural. I don't have nothing to do with that. Like, as much as I want to take credit for that, like, I had nothing to do with none of that. That's all Money Lock right there.
And you're happy with those? You don't want to give him any tips, or you're pretty happy with the swag he's got?
Man, I'm happy, man. It's just one of those things where you win, no matter what you do, it looks good. And, that's, you know, we won yesterday, man, and no matter what he does, he's going to look cool, man. And we just got to keep the win train coming. We just got to, you know, I think winning, once you feel like what a win feels like, man, it just creates like this addiction and this confidence. And we just got to keep that thing rolling, man, and we'll be good.
Do you have a celebration, Von, a new one that you've come up with for that first sack of 2020?
You know what? I had made, like, in my head, I was telling myself, like, I'm going to dance more. Like, I'm going to dance more. I'm going to celebrate more. And, you know, usually you don't want to be the guy that's, like, dancing after a sack and you're down by 30. I felt like we was gonna win games this year, and I felt like we was gonna really be on top of guys. And those are the moments where you dance. And I definitely had some dance moves, for the guys.
You got any you could show us now? Give us a little preview.
Ooh, I've been trying to teach Malik that, and then you put the one foot up like this.
Okay.
And when I got my helmet and stuff on, it's gonna look crazy.
So it's a little bit of that one.
Yeah, over the shoulder like this.
Over the shoulder. There you go. There you go. I got maybe not the Drew Lock swag, but we can work on that as we go.
Yeah, we can work on the Drew Lock swag, man.
Maybe I need that in person one, man, next year.
I got you.
So Von, in terms of your favorite memory of that Super Bowl, like we know obviously what you did there, 2 forced fumbles and really turned that game, one of the best defensive performances in recent memory. Was there a moment you knew you were on that game where you knew, okay, I got it, this is my time?
I think before the game, man, this was like one of the games where I wasn't nervous. I didn't have that jittery feeling, man. We had 2 weeks up until that game to prepare for the guys. It was a Super Bowl, man. I just remember feeling very confident in how I was feeling and how the game would go. And, I wasn't worried about getting hurt or messing up on plays or none of that stuff, man. I was just super confident. And I just went after it, bro, and I took it one play at a time, man. I wasn't thinking about the next play. I was really just living in the moment, man, and it felt good, and it felt good to be there.
And in terms of Peyton Manning being your quarterback, I want to go a little different route. Is Peyton Manning the chicken? Is he still around?
Yeah, I still got – a rooster. I still got Peyton Manning, the rooster, around, and he's still leading the coop.
I love that.
He getting kind of old. He getting kind of old now because, 5 years old and 5 years old in chicken years, you got to have a real healthy lifestyle to make it that far. So
has he got a bit?
I'm happy to say that my birds are healthy.
Well, that's it. And let's talk about those birds in greener pastures. Von, tell the audience a little bit more about what that is and what that represents for you.
Greener Pastures chicken is a chicken operation that I created, and we have a humane product. We have a non-GMO product. Humanely raised, like I said before, all natural, all organic. And I think, this is the day and age where we're really concerned about where our food comes from and what type of lives that our food, live. And at Greener Pastures, we got a healthy, happy product. We have our chicken on pasture-raised plots. We have a little house that just goes over the chicken, and they have natural bugs and natural grass, and they get natural sunlight. It's totally 100% organic, and they have a healthy lifestyle. And I think whenever you taste them, they taste pretty healthy too. Definitely taste better. I think they taste better, and of course it's my chicken, man. But whenever you got a happy bird that's living on natural grass, man, and got natural sunlight, it's not in crammed, chicken coops. They're naturally happier, and they I feel like they taste that way too. I feel like they taste happy.
Hey man, you're happy eating them too. You got to consider that. You got to look after you.
I am.
So Von, with Peyton Manning, is there a really memorable moment or something that really sums up Peyton Manning, the person that you can think of?
When I get that question all the time, and whenever I get it, I'm just taken to, the image that I have with Peyton Manning. Him being in our locker room, just being around Peyton Manning, he was a true leader, man, true leader of men. If he did mess up on anything, he went about his business so professional, man, and he never made the same mistake twice. He handled adversity off the football field, on the football field. He was the same guy every single day. He knew the coaches, he knew the players, kids, he knew the janitors by first name, had conversations with all these guys, man. And he was a real superhero, man. It's not a facade. It's not anything fake. It was just him. He is the real deal, and he's the GOAT. They have these discussions about Peyton and Tom Brady. And Tom Brady, he's won a lot of Super Bowls, and I'm a Tom Brady fan. But Peyton Manning really changed that quarterback position. From an audible standpoint on the line, being a technician, going about his game, knowing the defense, and that is why Peyton Manning is the GOAT in my eyes. And of course, we got Tom Brady, and I'm a huge Tom Brady fan and everything that he does, man. But I played with Peyton Manning, man, and I got to experience what type of guy he was, what type of leader he was, what type of player he was. And, he'll always get my vote on being the GOAT because he truly was.
That's a really in-depth answer, Von. I really appreciate that. One thing I do want to ask you about Derrick Henry. Now, he seems like he'd be very, very hard to tackle, but he's a similar height, similar weight to you. And there was a graphic the other day that compared the two of you. How do you think you'd go at running back?
My whole entire life, I've always thought that I would be a running back. And I went to college and I ended up just being a defensive guy. But seeing Derrick Henry go out there, it just makes me think like, bro, I could have did it. Like we ran the same 40, same height, same weight. I could have did it. But Derrick Henry, he's doing such an incredible job, man. He's really changed the game, man. I'm a fan of Derrick Henry. I've taken pictures next to him, like without the graphic and all that stuff. And he truly is that big, man. And to be that big and running that fast, man, it's super cool to see him on the opposite side of the ball doing all that amazing stuff.
So what sport do you think you would play, Von, if it weren't football? I know you ran track, but...
Yeah, I ran track. I can't lie and say basketball, man. I'm terrible at basketball. It's just unbelievable. I got a basketball court here at the house and everything, and I'm telling you, like, practice does not make perfect because I'm still, like, terrible at basketball. But for me, if I wasn't playing, like, football, I would have to say, like, bro, soccer or something like that, man, where I can still use my athletic ability and the physicality without, like, tackling guys. I'd probably be, like, a defenseman or something like that. Like, Virgil van Dijk, I'm a huge fan of him and his game. David Alba and all of those guys. So I would have to be like a big defenseman in soccer. I'm just guessing, I'm just trying to live out my soccer dreams, but that's what I can see myself doing.
What about if we get you over after the NFL career and play some Australian rules? I'm certain you'd be good at that.
Bro, Australian football, my bad. Australian football is real football. They play with no helmet. They got teeth. It's so physical. And I've seen some of those Australian football hits, and it's crazy, man. Those guys are really out there. They're really out there competing, man. I'm a fan of Australian football.
Well, I think definitely when you get out here, when we do organise that we'll get you to a game. We'll get you to really watch that up close.
For sure, man. I'm all in, man. That'll be dope.
So, Von, travel is a big one for you, isn't it? Is that something that's on the cards and you're missing right now? Is it something that's in your future, but also something you're missing now with everything going on?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I always felt like, I always like to travel. It's just at this point in my life, I really just focused in on this right now, taking advantage of my opportunity, taking advantage of this football stuff. And, that's where my mind has been. I haven't been thinking about, vacation or, taking time off. I'm thinking about how many more workouts I can get, how many more practices I can do. I'm 31. I'm trying to make the most out of my time left in the league, and that's where my mind has been at, and that's what I've been trying to do. I haven't been thinking about traveling, but what puts me at ease about traveling is I know, one day I'm going to take a crazy trip. And it might not be next week or next month, but it's going to happen where I take another crazy trip. It's just right now I'm just focusing on, my legacy and trying to be the best football player I could be.
So one final one, Von, for 2020 for you both as a player and a human, what's your goal for the last couple of months of this year?
Man, I just want to continue attacking 2020 like I have. It's been a crazy year, all over, the place. And I think everybody in the world has been affected by 2020. And I think it's made me a better person, man. I think it made me a better man. I think it's made me a better friend. It's made me a better teammate. And, I don't want to forget 2020. It's beauty and everything. And it's been a beautiful year for me to help me find myself and help me find my identity and my purpose, man, going forward. 2021 will be a new year, and I just want to take everything that I learned from 2020, man, and be better in all different ways. Adversity, it reveals character, and I think, going through this year, it definitely showed the type of willpower and the type of consistency that I'm capable of, man. I just want to take everything that I learned from 2020 and apply it to my future self.
I appreciate that, mate. And look, Von, I really appreciate you joining us here on the Worldwide Quarterback Podcast. You're a great person and an even better person than you are a footballer, which is a pretty hard feat. And we appreciate your time, my friend, and look forward to seeing you in person, hopefully very soon.
Thanks, Patrick. Good day, mate. Did I do that right?
I love that.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
you
that, mate.
guys, man. Thank you.